What's up you guys, and welcome back to the channel. So here we are playing a game called Tourist Bus Simulator. Now I have started off playing this game over the last couple of days and I have been enjoying it a great deal, and I wanted to do this video just to give you a bit of a basics and a bit of an overview to how this game is. This game came to us from TML Studios. It was released on the 12th of May 2022, so it's only a couple of weeks old, and we are playing today on Series X. This game is for SX and also the PS5 along with the PC. Now, this game was published by Aerosoft, and when I first heard that, I was a little bit put off by that because obviously they're responsible for the likes of On the Road Truck Simulator, Autobahn Simulator and games of that nature, and those games are a bit of a joke really. As you've come to know if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, On the Road in particular is a game which still isn't up to scratch even though it was released a fair amount of time ago. And this game is, although it is published by the same studio, it is not developed by them. So TML have done a great job with this game. I do need to say overall my impressions of this game initially are positive, but we will get into that in a little bit more detail. Today we are going to get started with this game. We're going to be purchasing our first bus, and from there we will do other videos following this just to give us a bit of a better idea of what goes on with this game, and we'll be discovering that together because I haven't played a great deal of this game. Just the first part, just to give you an idea. So let's have a look. We'll go into settings to start off with, just to give you a bit of a view here. So yeah, this is the controls. You can pause and take a look at that if you want. I'm just getting to grips with them myself. Game wise, there's obviously the usual language options. You can do the tutorial if you want, subtitles, and then in terms of the camera, you've got different sensitivities there. Graphics, now there's no sort of option to select performance mode or resolution. I will say I think the frame rate is a little bit jittery at the moment. It's not the worst that I've ever seen, but it's not great either. You'll see what I mean when we get going. We'll come out of there for now. Audio wise, you've got the usual options here. I've just switched the music off just to avoid any copyright strikes and that type of thing. Control mode, so you can either go with the sort of arcade style, which makes things easier, realistic, or customized where you get to select your own, and then you've got credits. At the moment what we'll do is we'll just go new game, and yes, we are going to start a new game. So this gives you an idea of the loading time here, and these tips that come up on screen are quite useful. This game is based on the island of the Fuerteventura, and it is supposedly realistic. So it's a tour, and as you can see here, we're just getting started. At this point, if you do have the music switched on, as you can tell, we've got dramatic music, and that plane looks like it's coming in very low. And there we go with a bit of a harsh landing as well, but this music sounds like the start of an FPS shooter or something like that, doesn't it? Reminds me a bit of the Battlefield 4 music, to be fair. But there we go. That's the intro, so that's how we get started. Okay, now in terms of character selection, there's a few options here, but there's not that many. This is the sort of typical one, followed by the older guy with glasses, and then the shorter guy. I don't know. The same with the females really. There's not a great deal of selection, not a great deal of choice. I just went with this guy. There we go. So we're going to name him, I don't know, what do you want to call him, guys? Let's call him George. I don't know whether he looks like a George, but that's what he's going to be called. So we'll hit that and select and go, move on. Okay, so once again we get the control options. I've just gone with arcade for now. I don't know whether I'll develop this in time and move on to the more realistic controls where you've got to start your own engine and complicated driving and do all your doors and everything yourself, but for now we'll just skip that. And here we are. So we're at the airport. Now the first thing I did was have a bit of a wander around here when I first played this game. As you can see, just a bit jerky there. And I was looking at the character models overall. As you can see, there's a bit of duplication going on already. When I first played this game, I think there was two character models of the same speaking to each other, which was it's an interesting take on it. It depends if that bothers you or not. I mean, this airport in itself is quite nicely laid out. It's not obviously perfect. I mean, it's typical sort of indie developer thing, but to a slightly higher standard than what I've seen in other simulation games. Anyway, let's get ourselves outside. And this game isn't full price, by the way. I do need to say that as well. I think I paid $24.99 or something like that. So first things first, here's our car. Hasn't been washed in a while by the looks of it. And also you'll notice that if you go and stand in front of cars, they do actually stop. Well, that one almost ran us over, but anyway. Right, let's get in. Here we go. Okay, so what I will say is the controls are very realistic. We'll hit here start. It does say that we can change gear if we want. And I don't know whether you can see that, but right down in the bottom right hand corner, it does tell you what gear you're in. It also tells you your speed there. It is quite difficult to see though, because it's tiny. Are we going? Oh, release the park and brake with X. There we go. Right, and now we're on the way. So like I say, guys, it is quite... the controls are a little tricky to get used to. So firstly here, what we are doing is we are heading to our company sort of base, our headquarters. And there's your first hint of the sun, which is very bright. The lighting on this game is... it's actually quite good for... compared with the likes of On the Road and things like that. And even a bit of pop in there from the vegetation going up the mountain there. I noticed that, but overall, even though the sunlight is a little bit too bright, it's certainly not the worst game for lighting that I've ever seen, and the graphics, generally speaking, are okay. What we'll do is we'll just make a bit of a stop here. Okay, let's go. So yeah, overall, I'm enjoying this game so far. I will say that it's a little bit better than what I was expecting. It did sort of seem to come out of nowhere, this game, for me. I mean, I hadn't heard anything about it on the run-up to release. I don't know whether that's because I just generally tend to read the sort of mainstream gaming news and wasn't particularly looking for the simulation sort of news. I should probably do that, but no, it came to me by searching on the Xbox store. I just happened to notice it, so that's why I didn't pick it up immediately on release as well. I probably would have done, but I think generally overall it's doing okay in terms of the sort of reception and the feeling towards the game. I think that's because of the depth of the simulation. I guess we'll get into that. I try not to spoil things too much for myself by reading too much about these types of things. So I'm just glad to be on the ride with it, really, and to be able to show it off here. The steering's a little bit tough to get used to. The sort of it's easy to be oversteer. It's also easy to understeer. It's difficult to get it just right. Okay, we're going around here. So our base is just near here, and as you can see, there is a bit of detail here. Let's just pull up if we can. We'll actually just park here, why not? Okay. Handbrake on. We'll get out. Our engine's still running. Is there a way of switching that off, just out of interest? Oh, there we go. Switch the engine off. Oh, we've parked treacherously close to that bollard there. Okay, let's see if we can cross this road. And as you can see, it's quite nicely modelled, to be fair. I mean, it's not the greatest modelling that I've ever seen in my life, and I mean, we'll get into sort of these types of things because there is restaurants, there is, I think there's a gym a little bit along here as well, and other things. But for now, it's just telling me off there for leaving the search area. I don't know why. Anyway, okay, let's get back to our car for now. We'll come back to all that type of stuff, I guess. Right, let's get in. We'll fire up the engine again. We'll release the parking brake. Now, there is an outside view as well like this, which I guess is useful for reversing. I think I'm going to use reverse here. There we go. So the reverse gear is found on the D-pad. Same as switching to forward as well like that. So it looks like this car's automatic. The one thing I will say as well, I haven't tried any other control methods for this game yet, just playing on the Xbox controller, so I will get into trying mouse and keyboard and things of that nature, and a steering wheel potentially in the future as well. What we'll do for now is we'll just reverse here. Oh, we need to find our reverse gear. There we go. I don't remember switching gears manually when I tried this out the other day, so I don't know whether that's come as a result of me doing that now. It's kind of assumed that I always want to do that. Anyway, let's just get parked up here. Engine off. And company name, so we'll set this as so I've called our bus company Tourcom. I don't know whether that's a good name or a bad name, but it's done now anyway, so that's accepted. Now what we'll do is we'll just head inside our office. So the doors open automatically. We've got a nice premium coffee machine here, water. What else have we got? So this looks like our office area itself. Repaint your bus. What else have we got? Sort of filing area. Can't imagine us needing that. We've got a computer here. Finances. What else? Employees. All things that I haven't touched on as of yet, but look interesting. What's this? A locker area. Is there anything in here? Some snacks and stuff there. Drinks machine. What else have we got? Another little storage room. I think this is the back door. Yeah. And here, what we want to do here is, so we're going to go to our vehicles, and this is where we will be able to purchase our first bus. So it does tell you, click on the button to open the second-hand vehicle market, choose the one that you want basically, and then click and hold the buy button. So we'll hit A. So what we're going to do is move across to second-hand vehicles. And so looking at the vehicles that are available, it looks like overall there's at least 4 that I can see on screen already. And just by going down, yeah, so it's a short list really. So we've got the Skyliner, we've got a Coach 2nd Gen, Intercity, R62, R61 and R60. So yeah, so we've got, how much money we've got? So we've got 200,000 available to us, 200,000 euro. And what you can do is you can actually press on each vehicle and see, obviously, this is the conditions. So you can see for this one, it does need an oil change, a tyre change, a V-belt change, and a brake lining change. But if you move along as well using the RB button, you can see that this sort of gives you info on the features that the bus has got. So it's got lights. I'm not too sure what that indicator thing means there. Whether that means that you need to operate it yourself. It's not automatic. It does have Wi-Fi as well and a toilet on this one. So this could be a good option. Let's just go back. So that one's the Skyliner. That's also the most expensive as well, which is going to take us pretty much up to our money, isn't it? 182,000, and we've got 200. So it's not exactly great, is it? What about this one? So this one also needs an oil change, tyre change. I guess if you're going to be doing those things anyway. A V-belt change, brake liner. This one doesn't have a toilet, or the toilet's out of operation. I'm not too sure what that means when it's looking like that. What about this one? So this one needs oil change, tyre change, brake lining change. But it has everything. Okay, let's go with this one. We'll buy this one. Please collect your vehicle at the 7th of June from the harbour. So we'll hit A here. We'll come out. Now the next thing that we can do is go to the calendar, which is over here. I guess we'll take another look around the office in a little bit more detail, maybe in the next video. So we can go calendar, and it does tell us here that you can click on the button to skip time to your next appointment. Alternatively, you can also click on a day to the calendar to skip time. So there we go. So we want to go at the 7th, which is our next appointment. And that takes us to the day when we're picking up our bus. So let's go and see what this one's like. So we need to go to the harbour. We want to head outside. And it's directing us kind of where the harbour is, over there. 1 kilometre away. So let's jump in our vehicle and we'll go and see what this bus is all about, eh? So we jump in. Are we in? Oh yeah, we are. Just a third person camera. Confused me then for a sec. Right, let's start up the engine. Release the parking brake. I'm convinced that I've got complicated controls on here by accident. I'll have to watch the video back myself and see if I've switched them on. But anyway, yeah. There's the gym by the looks of things. So let's get going to the harbour. We'll go and see what our vehicles, see what our bus is like that we've purchased. Indicator. Nothing coming. Wow, that sun is like super bright. I guess it's trying to recreate the sunshine of the beautiful Spanish island. I believe it's under Spain's control, even though it's not really next to Spain, really, the Fuerteventura. It's a little bit further, more south-west. Okay, we're doing a right turn here. Nothing coming. You do have to watch out. Oh, I'm a bit all gone into the road there. You do have to watch out for your speed, even though it's difficult to read. It's tiny. You kind of need to make sure you've got your glasses on if you wear them, because it's difficult to see. Okay, right. So all the way around the roundabout, and then off this sort of slip road entrance here. Got a 60 mile per hour, or 60 kilometers per hour, should I say, speed limit here. The speed sort of turned a different colour there, which was even more difficult to read than what it was before. Oh, we're breaking the speed limit, that's why. We're going over 100 here. Oh, the speed limit's 110 kilometres now. I was reading off the sign. And then into a 50 zone. Okay. Well, it's difficult to sort of look round as well. I wonder if the third person camera is a bit better to drive from. Once again, we're all over the road there, guys, aren't we? So once you switch the camera, it just makes it a little bit disorientated, really, overall. Can't tell if the indicator's on as well there, either. So we discovered the cocktail bar there as well, as we go by. Whoa! Oh dear. So the one thing that's interesting though is when the other cars sort of bump into the lampposts, they kind of go over it like that. We'll discover more of those sim sort of realistic elements as time goes on, I guess, even though I guess if you were driving that car you would stop, wouldn't you? I mean, you wouldn't just drive over a lamppost, but nevertheless, the physics are there at least. We're going this way? This is a strange layout. Oh, that water looks quite nice there. Let's have a quick look over here. It's like a very small beach area here. That actually looks really nice. The sunlight coming in. Okay, let's make sure we can get back to our car. Oh, we've got a bit of a traffic jam as well. You would think they'd go around you. Oh well, never mind. Oh, we switched the engine off as well by accident. There we go, let's get a move on. Oh, that was close. Okay, so we'll keep it moving. We're going to the harbour now. We're going to pick up our bus. Can't wait to see what it's like. Not too sure which one I purchased last time when I was just trying things out, but I'll have a quick look and see which one it is. If we've got Wi-Fi on there, I guess that'll be good for our guests, and the toilet as well. Okay, so here we are. We'll pull in over here. I guess just anywhere here is fine, isn't it? Okay, there we go. Brake on. Engine off. Jump out. So here we are. Wow, look at the length of this thing. Yeah, I think this is the same one I picked up the first time round, but yeah, you got like 2 floors as well. Very, very nice. And I'm pleased with this for the money. Got a little bit of cash left over. I guess we'll be doing a few repairs and upgrades and things. Okay, so we need to go around the other side to get in. How do we open this door? There we go. In we get. Is there a way of closing this door? Doesn't appear to be that easy to do so, but anyway, we're in our seat now. Okay, so leave your car behind and drive the bus back to your company. So how do we do that? Well, I guess we need to start the engine first with air. Now this is where it gets a little bit complicated, and I think this is where we definitely do have the complicated controls on, because I didn't have all this before. So you hold down A, and then you can select engine on, ignition. What's that top one? Oh, there we go. So now we're running. The engine's on, and now we've got drive. Not too sure what that one is, but anyway, I guess drive 1. We've got lights, so I'm going to put dimmed headlights on, although we do have a couple of other options there as well. I guess that's for our high beam. We've got indicators, we've got warning lights, although that doesn't really flag up on the dashboard. This one goes off. We've got a parking brake, which we can do with the buttons. We've got wipers. We've got driver's window. I think that came down there. There we go, yeah, it just slides to the side. So we'll open that. What else have we got? It's a bit frustrating that you have to sort of go through the entire menu each time as well. Windshield, sunblind, I guess we will need that. Got a driver's light, horn. What's this? Or retarder, so that's if you want to sort of limit your speed, I think. Cruise control, which sets the speed, air conditioning, temperature. Okay, so that's on the button A. Now if you hold down, not that one because that gets you out your seat, so B gets you out your seat. If you hold down X, you can do the front door. So I think, yep, that's the door close. Wow, I'm quite liking this. I didn't do any of this the first time. We've got a second door option. We've also got sort of up and down option. I guess that's maybe a tilt, or maybe not a tilt. I think that's more just a suspension up and down. Kitchen on or off. Wi-Fi on and off. Toilet on and off. Passenger monitors. So much stuff here. I mean, I guess we'll come back to all this, but that's pretty cool, to be honest with you. Hold down Y. What does that give us? Now this is where it's a bit interesting, because if you press A, so firstly you can press LT to bring on that mirror, press RT to bring on the other side, but if you press A, that sort of adjusts our seat. Now this is important, don't get me wrong, because for me personally, I think the viewing position for the driver is a little bit off. So if you hold down X, you can then adjust like so. Now when I was trying to do this before, the bus was accelerating and decelerating when I was pressing RT and LT, which was quite amusing, to be fair. But I think that's okay, although it's just reset itself. So we'll go back up. I think coming back a little bit is a good idea, so that we've got a better view. How do we change these? Oh, there we go. So we can also angle up and down and angle left and right. So I think that's about right. And then if we go here, so this is our field of view. So I think something like that might work. We can always adjust it. And then finally we've got left and right sort of sliding slide our seat left and right, which I guess I'm quite happy with those things. Okay, so engine's on, doors closed, lights on. What's that? So X is our navigation. We need to come out with there. Oh, there we go. Right, okay. So, how do we release our parking brake now? I thought it would be as simple as pressing A like in the car, just a one tap, but it's not. I'm going to do it here. So there we go. Now we're on our way. And we're heading back to base. Oh, one other thing I wanted to show you. So if you press, as you can see, the brakes are like super bitey. You have to be like really gentle on them and really smooth. It just wants to roll forward otherwise. What we'll do is, just like an automatic gearbox, I guess, we'll put our parking brake on, because when we're using this automatic drive gearbox, it just goes if you release the parking brake. But I wanted to show you the different camera angles. So when you drive in the car, if you press R3, it switches between a third person or a first person. But obviously when you're in a bus it's slightly different, so we've got obviously our first person's perspective here now. We press R3, we can view our switches, our speedo, etc. Another set of switches over there. More switches. It kind of makes me think that the mouse is going to be useful here to control these things manually. We'll get into that in the next. We'll have a look at that in the next video. We'll take a look, or the next few videos. We'll take a look at that. That's a sort of view from behind the driver, looking forward. Again from the top, the upper deck, looking forward. From the front of the upper deck, third person, and then back behind the wheel. So there's quite a few views to get through there, and you can't just select them. You have to cycle through. So if you want to select third person view in the bus, you better once you've selected it, use it. Else, it's pretty easy to go back to first, but if you then want to go back to third person, you've got to go through all of the views. Anyway, right, let's hit the road. Let's swing ourselves back round. We will switch off the parking brake like so, and we'll get underway now. Now I did say before, and I showed you just slightly the bitiness of the brakes. The brakes are very bitey. You can't just slam them on like you're playing sort of GTA. You've got to be really gentle, because the bus does sort of judder and jerk and move around all over the place. So let's take care when driving, because it's very easy to go off route as well. Whoa, what happened there? Did we catch the thing? Parking brake on. Let's have a look. Oh man. So if we want to open that door, do we have to do it like this? Yeah, we do, from the inside. Okay, I'm in the wrong controls. It's this one. There we go. Right, let's have a quick look. Did we catch the... We did. We knocked down a lamppost. It just disappeared there. It just spawned out. Okay, we're stuck. Oh, we're running. Oh, we've got a third person perspective as well when we're out and about. No wonder you can select your own character. Okay, well, we're getting used to the controls, guys. We'll get the doors closed. We will get the parking brake released. That's still, I think, that should be a tap on the air, surely. I guess, and I'm guessing if you use a keyboard, it'll be a lot easier to navigate the controls. I guess we'll find out. Not a lot of pedestrians about, which is unusual for a tourist island. I wonder if we'll see more as time goes on, or if... Wow, I just got a nasty strong vibration there through the controller because I braked too hard. Definitely feel it going up that hill. They've put a lot of time into this, I'll tell you, getting that right. Are we indicating? Oh yes, we are. Dude. What? I was turning there. I was turning first. And now I don't know how to reverse because it's not just as easy as clicking back on the thing, so it's... And when you're reversing you get a nice little camera view to show you where you are. Okay, now we need to go forward again. Yeah, well I was turning and that guy sort of got in the way, didn't he? I think we just dragged across another car there as well. Let's progress up this hill. As you can see, performance wise it's not terrible, but it did jerk a little bit there. Once again we just spun the wheels as well. I guess that's going to be tyre wear, isn't it? Now driving around these little streets you can see the difficulty. It's going to be fun to say the least, and maybe we shouldn't have gone with the more expensive bus. We should have started with something smaller. But we've got Wi-Fi, guys. That's what we want, isn't it, in the toilet? That's what I was aiming for anyway. I thought they would be attractive things for somebody coming on our bus tour. Okay. Whoa, okay. I was a little bit too excited there. And I'll admit that was my fault, but once we got out of the way, it's kind of long forgotten. 110k speed restriction here. We're indicating we're coming off. Again, spinning the wheels on the brakes, you do have to be super gentle. Okay, I think we're doing alright. From this view as well, you can kind of see slightly if anything's coming as well, which is quite useful, I think. Okay, let's make a turn. Trying to avoid the curbs as well, because bumping over the curbs I don't think is going to do our tyres or our general wear and tear any good. Speed restriction here is 50 k's, so doing about 40. Well, 36. Here we are, back at our depot. Okay, so we're going to park in the yard. I guess we'll just swing this thing around like this. Now let's see if I can manage this. See if I can do this right. Stop. And reverse. And as you can see, we get our nice little camera at the bottom again, which is a nice touch. That's great. It means that we don't have to switch to third person if we're going to reverse. Because I mean, look at the mirrors. The mirrors are tiny. I guess you can bring those on with the Y button. Okay, let's brake. Neutral and parking brake on and engine off. And what else do we need to do? We need to do door open, don't we? Where's that? Okay, that's in the other menu. We're getting used to this. There we go. You know what? I've heard people complain about the controls on this game, but I quite like it. The more I play it, the more I like it. And we'll close our door. So there we go. I can't remember if we switched our lights off ourselves or not, but I'll tell you what. Not bad parking as well with the use of that camera at the back. And there's our second door, so that one's another one that we can pop open. And yeah, I mean, considering the size of this bus, I think we did pretty well on those small streets as well. Okay, let's head inside, and we'll see what's next on the agenda. It's telling us to go in our office, which is, as we know, over here. So let's get ourselves in. Beautiful sunny day. First trip, which is right here at the photocopying machine. Also a fax machine, also a printer. But guys, I want to say thank you so much for checking out this video today. For our next video, we are going to take our first trip. We're going to see what's going on. But I really hope you enjoyed this first introductory one, and I really enjoyed making it. I hope it's given you a bit of an overview as to whether you'd like this game or not yourself. I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm not just hyping it up. I mean, I'll tell you quite honestly that compared with the likes of On the Road and a few other simulation games that we've tried out on this channel, this one is pretty good, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where it takes us in the future. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave me a like. Let me know in the comment section if you've tried this one out or not, and if you plan to. I'd love to hear from you as well, just about what games you're playing at the moment. Thanks so much for coming through today, guys, and I'll catch you again soon.